What's up? What's up, Scott? How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
We are live, episode number 5 of the CAMMA cast. March 24th here. We got our new setup. We fired our old producer and got a way more sleek setup here.
So sleek.
He wasn't performing. You got a show to perform, people. We just got done doing last weekend. We haven't got to talk to you guys about this because it was last Saturday. We did the live MMA demo.
Yes.
It was really cool. Went over really well. Got to educate the uneducated on MMA. And that was really cool because that was the goal. Because we were in I thought the event was... what did I say? This is too prestigious for pretentious. This is too pretentious for our booth. We stuck out like a sore thumb, but we pulled it off. It was good.
It's hard talking about yourself and not being perceived as pretentious or we feel that way, just because we're confident in what we do, but at the same time we don't want to be that guy that's like, yeah, I'm a kick-ass kind of dude. But it was fun. It was a good time. It turned out, I don't say it turned out better than what we thought it was going to, but I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, I'm glad we took part in it for sure.
Right.
For sure.
For show.
Of course, we had like some hiccups where we weren't sure how it was going to go as far as your speaking part, because you had to talk through the whole thing.
Right. No, I knew how that was going to go, but then it wasn't how it was going to go. Like, I didn't get it. I wasn't allowed to do what I wanted to do. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it turned out well, though.
But it was all right, yeah.
Oh, microphone
Sorry.
burst.
That ain't that bad.
It turned out.
Geez.
It turned out well. Did it? We did kind of everything. We showed every aspect of mixed martial arts as far as grappling and striking, and then how you mix them both together. And it was funny though, because the guy that was kind of emceeing it was like, "This is not what you see on TV," and I was like, "It's exactly what you see on TV."
Yeah, I told him a little bit about what I was trying to share because I could see that he wasn't going to give me the freedom to say what I wanted. Not that they were afraid I would say something I shouldn't, but they thought that I probably couldn't pull it off, maybe, or they needed people to help people talk. I don't know, but it went all right. Like, yeah, we got the point across that we needed to, and it happened.
Yeah, it did. The biggest thing, though, the biggest one that we really wanted to hit home and talk about was the different walks of life that come into MMA, and MMA also often has this kind of negative stereotype or connotation with it. And I think it's mostly the way it's marketed in the beginning, in the early 90s, because it was marketed very brutal and very much so like a chicken fight. And that, in a lot of ways, kind of stuck. However, I think if you are kind of in that mindset, it's almost out of ignorance or even self-ignorance, because it's so mainstream now compared to what it was, that you can't say like, oh, I have no idea about what this is. People
don't give it the time of day, though. They had that conception whenever they saw it in the 90s, and now when they're flipping through and they see it, they immediately flip by, oh, it's that human cockfighting stuff. They don't give it the opportunity to really see that it's their martial artists applying techniques and that they train hard for it. It's not glorified street fighting.
It's funny though, because I feel like it still doesn't get the respect that if you were to say kung fu or karate, it doesn't get that same respect that I feel like it should as athletes, because I think what we do puts us in a very elite class as far as athletic goes, and we came to that terms with that when we realized that we're in better shape than we thought we were when our workouts were killing people, and we thought they were light workouts.
My warm-up.
Yeah. But I think it doesn't give us the credit that it's due deserved as far as sport goes.
Right. It's something. It's new. It's one of the newest sports, and it's growing. It's becoming more mainstream, but it's still new. And but it's so funny that people don't compare boxing to human cockfighting.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't go into a full fight? Or what? Like, because it's limited by too many rules that all of a sudden it's not as brutal when it's a much more dangerous sport?
Do you think it's
as far as head trauma?
a lack of understanding of ground fighting? Mm-hmm. I mean, that obviously has a lot to do with it.
And there tends to be a little more blood in some MMA fights. Not all. I mean, I would say in overall, probably not as much as boxing. Maybe, I don't know. Just with the elbows, it's elbows.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're bleeding like that for 15 rounds.
That's true.
Either. And the blood part with the elbows, I'm sure that's where people are freaking out.
Well, and then it's also, I think it's opinionated. I'm sure the science is out there. I haven't necessarily studied it, or I have, and it's been a long time. But there's something to be said about boxing gloves and surface mass against someone's face for 15 rounds, opposed to MMA gloves and surface space against someone's head for 3 rounds. I think, I don't want to say that it's more dangerous to be boxing, but I know when I'm sparring, I hate getting punched with big gloves. I'd much rather get punched with little gloves. I know that sounds ass backwards or however, but I feel like I'm more disoriented when I get hit with those big gloves because of surface space and head push.
Well, and weight. Like, I've heard it said before, like, would you rather be hit by a 4-ounce brick or a 1-pound brick?
Right, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't matter how soft it is. It's still the weight, the mass in it. I mean, it could provide some cushion, but it's still, there's a hard core in that, and that's your fist, and it's still going to come through with the weight behind it, the added power, and that's why those boxing gloves hurt more, I think.
Right.
They I feel like they rattle more, but the point of impact on an MMA glove is more direct.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean? It's.
I think precision also has something to be said about it as well. You have to be more precise with an MMA glove, whereas in boxing, I don't, obviously you don't, because you have surface area to take up that. Not saying there isn't precision in boxing, but if I hit you in the head, I'm hitting you in the head.
Wouldn't it be the opposite?
I don't think so.
You'd have to be more precise with a big ass glove on your hand.
See, I don't think so.
Well, how? Okay, explain this.
Okay, so if I'm throwing, let's say I have cups set up, and I'm throwing a basketball at them, I have more chance of knocking them all down opposed if I'm throwing a golf ball at them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But on the defense side, it's way easier to block those too.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I see what you're saying though.
Right. Okay.
I just misunderstood. I was just like, that doesn't make sense at all. So if you guys are out there, thank you for joining.
Yeah,
I'm Jeremy Kitts. This is Andy Ramsey. We have no official intro.
We should probably work on that.
Yeah, we totally didn't give that. We just assumed you knew who we were. We would like for you to share this with your friends and like it. And we thank you for joining, because we need your feedback to give you the content that you need. There's a lot of content floating around in this head right here, mine. In this head right here.
I just make it up as I go.
And we would like, we don't know who needs what. There could be one person watching, and we talk about everything that they don't need to hear.
Right.
And there could be 100 people watching, and we talk about the wrong thing for one person when there could have been 10 people we were reaching at that time.
Well, and the other thing that we kind of want to convey is, like, we're not just MMA. I mean, there's so much going on that we talk about on a regular basis, or that we have discussions. Obviously, we love coffee. We drink the snot out of coffee. Or we're always on current events of universe and whatnot. That's a lot of what happens as well.
The MMA, we're just here to share our experiences and knowledge, and just the sharing of conversation of MMA, health and fitness, nutrition, business things, I guess, about
our stories of how, like, people who think they want to run a gym, and then what happens when you actually run a gym.
Yeah, cool story, bro. That's what you say when someone says, when they're at the gym doing curls and they're like, I want to run a gym. Tell them, cool story, bro. Cool story.
The characters we meet in here.
And that would be another episode. It would be a whole, that would be hours. It would be a day.
An ending.
But I'm not claiming to be an expert at any of those topics, but I'm pretty knowledgeable at most of them, and I just want to share what I know and learn from people who know other things or have other ideas or aspects. Because I'm not opposed. I'm not too. What is the word?
Proud?
Not humble. Yeah, not too proud to learn. Right? Would that be?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's funny because we always talk about like such a learning process, and sometimes we're like, we sit back and we wonder like why do people come to us for answers? You know, they ask us questions, and then for the most part we usually have a good answer for them. But it's funny how we don't see ourselves because we're always trying to constantly grow. I feel like a student myself a lot. I mean, obviously I'm one of your active fighters and competitors. So I'm still having to learn and adjust to this new sport because taking my long time off, the sport evolved so quickly that now I feel like I'm playing catch up all the time. But my experience allows me to kind of share and help other fighters grow as well. So that's where I kind of come in. But it's crazy to me how fast the sport is just coming. Yeah,
I get tossed so many different things per day and issues that I sometimes wonder if this is just a test and I'm waiting for that PhD to show up in my mailbox.
Right.
I'm like, what? Like the man, yeah, just the different aspects on top of martial arts and fitness that come with running a gym, I guess.
We say all the time, hey, what's up, Steven? My buddy Steve Graves just checked in.
Hello, Steve. Hello.
We talk about all the time how it's weird because we also have our private clients, and it's like a lot of times we're life coaches, and it's having to deal with people who need self-confidence or having to deal with people who are scared because they don't know how to defend themselves. And we're in this position where like, wow, I didn't know I was qualified to handle this, but here I am handling it.
For sure. And I just realized what it is. They have found either fitness or martial arts as a common ground that we mutually like. They probably don't love it as much as you, but they like it enough that your life is built around that, and all your experiences and how you relate to life is built around that. So when they have an interest in that, you can relate through martial arts to them their life problems.
Oh, for sure.
And help them through those.
We
those
talk
issues.
about all the time how jiu-jitsu has almost rounded our life. Everything that I do comes back to martial arts or jiu-jitsu in some way, whether it's persevering through crap or going through hard times and working through it, because on the mat we do that every day and we don't know that we're conditioning ourselves to persevere in life. We talked about that, was it an episode ago, persevering through crap.
Adversity.
And so it's almost odd to us when we find someone who lacks in self-confidence or doesn't know how to persevere or gives up quick. We're just like, what? It's so right. Alien to us.
Yeah, we are definitely getting conditioned on a daily to face adversity, so don't throw no shit in my way because it ain't going to stop me. It's only going to fire me up.
And then I have to hear about it.
Yeah, but I'm still like, I'm going to blow you out the water.
Yeah. It's really this trait, and like I said, I'm on this quest to figure out what it is about us or about other fighters or successful people and bottle it and sell it, because it really is a rare trait for people to be able to go through shit. And I think maybe it's a lack of understanding themselves, and they don't realize that they've been through stuff, and so they still have that lack of confidence because they don't understand that they've been through stuff. Instead of embracing it, they fear it. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
You said something about other successful people or finding people like that, and I would like to make clear that I'm not considering myself a successful person. I feel that the success is this journey I'm on right now. I'm on the journey I want to be on, the path I want to take, and that's. There's never going to be an end. There's never going to be a day where I'm like, I am successful. I mean, there's a lot of small victories along the way, but you never are. I don't think you're fully successful. I mean, what would you?
How do you characterize that?
Yeah, I feel like just to me, it's about that the day-to-day hustle, the grind, or the journey of building. my business or my personal goals. The gym here, the academy.
Well, I think it's different for everybody, and that's what kind of makes the paths what they are. Nobody can quite understand what you're going through because they haven't went through it, or B, they don't know you internally. But for me, being successful is being able to just wake up and be happy with where I am in life, because a lot of people aren't, and I don't take that lightly. Like, I'm very, very proud and very humbled from where I've come from to where I am now. And obviously, like, everybody kind of has those days where they wake up and they're just like, geez, why am I doing this? I hate my job. I hate blah, blah, blah. I hate everything. But it's the ability to get over that quick and then power through your day or whatever it might be. That to me is a measure of success, not what you have or your bank account or anything of that nature. I think finding happiness and true happiness is the key to success for me.
Imagine if your success was to, man, one day I want to be able to go over and buy me a cup of roast coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, you go and do that. You is that it?
Oh,
that's it? Like,
right.
You're successful? You're a successful person now? Or what, like, is that or once you reach that goal, I mean, what is success?
I think
you're going to make another one, right?
Yeah, right. I think it encompasses.
You're going to get 2 cups next time.
Well, no, not necessarily that, but it's like, okay, what put me in position to be able to buy this cup? I was able to get a job, or I was able to save up enough money to go buy that. So it's, once again, it's that journey that people take. And even if you come to the end of the road, there's always more that you're gonna have to go through. I was just talking to a buddy about my fight that I had in October, and for a long time it was like I was building up to something, and I was building up to it, and once I fought, and we talk about it all the time, the I don't want to call it the depression, but when you fight, you have to build up. It's like a roller coaster. Then you fight and it's straight down. And a lot of people don't understand that at the end of the fight, even if you win, you kind of go through this slump or this kind of rut that you go through, and trying to rebuild off of that. And for a lot of fighters, it's another fight, or for other fighters, it's something else. But maybe it's that mindset or a habit, because winning is certainly a habit. I think personally, winning and losing is definitely a habit. So maybe it's not just I succeeded in this goal, it's just being able to win at things every day.
Right. Zach Cook, thank you for joining, bro, and thank you for your feedback. Zach Cook says success is a mindset. That I agree with 100%. It's kind of what we're saying. It's that path, that journey, the mindset that through every failure success is, I've read this, success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm.
Right.
Nothing's going to stop you. No hurdles, no nothing. You're going to go over them, they're going to crush them, you're going to keep going.
So then it's also the question of not getting in that rut and not kind of falling into that mundane everyday cycle. Where you're doing the same thing. It's how do you break that cycle when you're doing what you want to do, but you and I come to it all the time where it's like, man, what more can we do? And we sometimes we just kind of find ourselves doing the same things every day, and obviously that's not going to help growth. But we are successful because our numbers are doing better. Everything else is looking good on paper, but us internally we feel like there's something more. Eat psychedelics once a month.
For success?
Change your perspectives?
Probably. Maybe like if you're in the rut. Is that what he said? I don't know. We elaborate on that. Eat the psychedelics once a month. Yeah, life ain't about drinking shitty coffee.
The world's better with better coffee.
It's about going out and experiencing the best of things, right? I don't know.
I guess it's different for everybody, though. I mean, but we talked about that a couple podcasts ago, where it's like, some people have that in them where they're like, I'm gonna go get the best, I'm gonna do the best I can, and then others are just like, nah, I'm good with this crappy cup of coffee. It does what it needs to do, and they don't understand that there's a whole world out there of good coffee per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, what is it about? I'm still trying to figure it out. What is it about us that makes us like just thrive competition, and we're hungry for
Okay,
it?
well, that whole world of good coffee that they don't know about, it's because they're in that rut. They're not changing. They're doing the same thing over
Right.
and over and over. You're not going out and experiencing other things, right?
Maybe. Neurons to Nirvana. Google it. Hey, what's going on, Donnie? Thanks for saying hi, buddy.
He's hey Donnie, what's up? He's rewiring the brain.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he's talking about. Which maybe that he would like this freaking delay. It's hard to tell what he was commenting on. It's probably commenting on your talk about depression, and the coming down and that. Which I've read psychedelics are beneficial in that for depression.
I think, and someone who I have dealt with my depression issues, and there's a big difference between being sad, feeling bad about yourself, and then depression. That sometimes in life you just have to grow through it, and I say grow through it, not just go through it. You have to experience that low, and that's
you got to drink the shitty coffee.
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes you got to drink.
You do, and that way you can appreciate the good stuff. And I tell our fighters all the time, like, listen, this is going to be normal, and you're going to feel that. Like, it's cool. It's one thing to be that way, or there's another thing to stay that way. But that's something that was never told to us. Like, you're going to feel crappy even if you win for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
And it's different for everybody. I mean. But I think changing your perspective, that has a lot to do with it as well, with growth.
Right.
I don't know what you're staring at.
It was with my eyes. Does it matter for you
Well,
what my eyes look at?
Maybe.
I didn't know how to check in with you. Hey, my eyes are going to wander over here.
Well, see, now you're ruining audio because you're pumping your mind.
Tell this freaking sound guy.
Oh, we can't.
That's why he's fired.
It's, yeah.
I would like some feedback. Also, I really appreciate you guys coming in and joining in with us. Your topics are what's going to make this show. I don't want to come on here and spew out a bunch of shit out of my head. I mean, basically that's what I'm doing, but but I want to at least spew out what you want to hear, not just some random crap.
Right.
And feedback from you guys, just topics or just questions. Again, I'm not a know-it-all, but I know it all, or I know a little now. But I can find usually the path to the answer. Or at least I have a good opinion on things.
Right.
Or I'm going to give you my educated opinion. But we really appreciate you guys. We'll be back next Friday.
Positive mind. Donnie says positive minds.
Absolutely.
Positive results.
Positive.
Well, we talk about
what you put out comes back.
Yeah, we're talking about the universe, and when you put a negative energy out, you're going to get negative energy back in. Or you wake up and you say, man, it's one of those days. You're going to get one of those days because that's what you put out there.
Or if you wake up and it's one of those days, you're going to say, no, it's not one of those days, and it's not going to put me down, and you keep positive, and then your day turns around.
What feelings are normal, highs and lows are normal. Without either, it's a flat line. I agree. And that's why I said you have to go through it sometimes, and there's no mask for it. You have to feel the way you feel for growth, I think. I'm a big proponent of it, and there is a time to ask for help, especially when you're going through that shit. But there's also that overcoming feeling that comes at the end of it that I have learned to appreciate. As far as your other questions, Zach, we roll all the time, but we do roll Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 10 o'clock. And then we roll Wednesdays and Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30.
Saturday mornings at 10.
Yeah, that too.
10 a.m. if you're going to be in town on the weekend. It looks like you said weekend.
Yeah, the weekend's working.
So we'll be grappling tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Boom.
Right.
Awesome. And it sounds like we could talk to you two guys up more on Donnie and Zach. Seem to be more on that mindset, that vibe. That positive vibe.
We talk about it all the time.
And the universe coming together, uniting.
We talk about it all the time. Like, why do we feel like shit's not going our way right now? It's probably us. We have to fix something. Like, we have to fix the way we're thinking about things. and how we're proceeding on handling them. Because a lot of times, man, there's so much stuff that happens around here, and we just get pissed off, and we're like, why does this keep happening? And it's a lot of just how we're looking at it, I think.
Right. Just deal with it. It'll get
better.
Brighter on the other
Breathe.
side.
It'll get better.
All right, y'all. Till next time. This was episode number 5. We're gonna keep them going every Friday. And again, your feedback, your questions, your topics. That's what we want.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week. Chime in the meantime. Share. Be sure to share it, and give us some other topics you want to hear about next week. We'll see you guys.
Peace. Love you.
Later.